Welcome to this webinar for parents on using Purple Mash. Now, the first thing I'm going to look at is getting an account, if you haven't already done so. If you are a parent and your school is not subscribing to Purple Mash and has not given you contact details, then you can create your own account. Just go to the Too Simple website, www.toosimple.com, and you can see there's information here, and there is a link to request your free access. You're a parent, pop your name in, parent, postcode, agree, start my trial. If your school subscribes to Purple Mash, then you may have got a login card or a letter with a login card included in it. You can see on the login card the child's username here, their password. In this case it's got a picture password of 2 bears, and there's a parent code as well. What you've also got here is the actual site of your school. So this is the address that you need to head to access Purple Mash. Once you get to the school site, you can just click Register Parent. And once you've registered, you'll be able to log in. So I'm just logging in there. And you can see here I've actually got 4 children, so I can choose which child I need to log in for. So I can just choose the selected one, and you can see here you'll get an overview of their activity, the to-dos that's been set, work that they've shared with you or has been commented on by the teacher. Now if you want to get into your child's account, you want to log in for them, then up at the top here it says Access Pupil View. If you need to swap between children, you can click on the child's icon here and select one of the other children. If you click Access Pupil View, again it just asks you to pop your password in again, and then you're straight in to the account. Here we are at the home page of Purple Mash. So let's have a quick look at some of the things that you can do in here. So this tools area that we have on this home screen is where all your sort of apps or programs are. And when I click on there, there's a whole range of different creative tools and resources that you can use. So here you could create a story, a very simple story. You can animate within it. You can add speech. You can even hyperlink between pages if you wanted to. Within Publish and Publish Plus are templates. So if you want to create a newspaper or a leaflet or a greetings card, then these are a whole host of blank templates for you to use. In something like Design and Make over here, you can build and design in 3D. So if you were looking at this car, we can click on the car and we'll get a car, but we can move through and start with just a cube. And you can see there's 3 modes: the design, there's the net with the tabs for you to print it off, and if you want to start creating, you can add points. So if I'm going to build a quick spaceship, I can start to add points into it here. There's my spaceship. I'm just going to colour it, pop a auto in it, and you can see here I haven't done all of it, but you can see there's the net, there's the 3D shape, and you can print that off by just clicking on there and clicking print. You can even download this file if you want to build it through a 3D printer. Any of these programs though have the little video guides at the top, so if you're not quite sure what to do, have a click on there and it will take you through what to do. You may also, if you're into making and creating, you might like to scroll down and try 2DIY 3D. This is where they can make their own Minecraft style game. They can make a simple game or they can make a multi-level game. So it's really very straightforward. You just choose the type of game that you want. You can stick the walls in here and you can change any of the walls to any type of wall that you want. You can add other features like trees, you can add fire pits, you can add pillars, but all these can be changed as well. You can add things to collect. These don't have to be coins. You can change these to whatever you like, treasure chest, you can change the number of points, etc. You can change the ground, you can change the sky. You can add baddies and you can change those, and you can choose your own as well, so you can put your own in there as well if you want to. And you can decide what happens to them. And then you can make different levels here as well. You can add your instructions in here if you wish, and if you want to see what it looks like, you can just click the play button and you've got a 3D game. Again, there's a how-to guide in the top right hand corner if you're not quite sure. You might want to create a quiz for your children to do. In that case, there's a quiz tool here, and you can simply click on this and you can click the new question button down here, and there's different types of question. You've got multiple choice here, you've got drag and drop, you've got closed procedure, you've got labeling, and you just pick the one that you want and you can create your question. You can add true, false, you can have more of those if you want. You can add your own speech support, but again, if you want to do this sort of thing, there's a little video that tells you how to do it. You might want them to create like a diary at the moment. In that case, the child can just go to blog and click on the plus button, and they can create their own blog, and they can add to that daily or multiple times a day. So they can just pop my news. They can pick a picture for it, just save it, and when they click view, they can click plus button to add a blog each time. This is private to them. This will not be shared with any other people or children. Okay, I'm going back to the home screen. You can also try coding. There's lots of nice art activities here. In this program you can paint in different styles. You can animate. This is great for younger children, paint projects. This is where the painting tools match the project. So if you wanted to create a Easter chick, you can start to make your chick here, and it's sort of painting in sort of chicky feathers. You'll have to excuse my very poor hand-eye coordination, but they can. And of course they can just click save at any point. If they click save, then it will automatically go into their own folder. I'll show you where that is in a moment. Okay, we've had a quick look around some of the tools. There's lots more to explore. If we head towards the game section, then there's a host of maths games up here. There's also grammar and punctuation games down at the bottom, and if you mouse over them it does tell you what age range they might be suitable for as well. Minnie Mash area is for early years, so if you have younger pupils in, say, nursery or reception, then this might be the area for you. And there's different areas, reading and writing, with lots of different activities in it. There's numbers and counting, games, explore the zoo, the park, and you can go outside where you can have music, art, and role play. If you want to do one of these activities, let's say we want to paint this mini beast here, you can make your mini beast like that. And then when they click on this button here and click save, that will be saved into their tray. If they've got a range of trays, they can just choose on the one they want to save it into, and that's it, saved. And clicking on here, they can go back to Purple Mash. And last but not least, over here we've got Serial Mash. Now, Serial Mash is our book area. You've got infants, lower key stage 2, upper key stage 2, some Firebolts books as well, which is sort of there to sort of motivate readers. And you can meet some of the authors in this area. But if we click on, say, Emeralds, you can see there's a whole host of books. You can click on a particular book, and each book comes with a chapter at a time. And within here, you've got multiple choice questions. You've got open-ended questions that you could ask them after the chapter if you want to. And you've also got an extended writing activity as well. And if you click on the book chapter itself, you can open up the book. You can change the font size if you need to by just dragging. You can also change the text colour and the background colour if that suits your child better. In this area down here are all the topic resources. There's over 1,000 of these, and these are ready for you to use. So if I clicked on topics, for instance, I clicked on ancient Egypt, and I clicked on ancient Egypt and the Nile, then you can see here there's sort of a question that you could answer. There's some information about Egypt and the Nile that they can click on and they can read, and then they can complete the activity. If the area has a little plus button there, that means there's some pictures ready to add if you want to do that. So I'm going to choose that. And then likewise on the clip art, I can drag the clip art in as well. So I can put a boat on my River Nile if I wanted to. Where it says right here, obviously, this is where they can write. And over here, there is a word box, which just gives them a few ideas of what they might want to add to this piece of work. Sometimes there's other scaffolding within the activity because your teacher can add or remove scaffolding for an activity if they've set it for them, and I'll come to that in a minute. If you're not quite sure of the instructions, go back to the help button and that will give you the instructions for that activity again. We can just close it, save on exit, or just exit. Now, when a child saves a piece of work in Purple Mash, it's going to go into their work folder. So if you just click on the work folder, anything they've saved is in here, and you can see there's the chick that I made earlier. They can also access their class folder as well. So if the teachers put anything in the class folder, then all children can see anything that is put into the class folder. You can see that it's multiple access because it's got 3 different people on it, whereas my work is private to that child. And only the child and the teacher can see that work. Okay. If they've been given some work to do that was on, say, a Word document or a PowerPoint, then they can upload it into their work folder from here. They just click the upload button and they can drop and drag or they can search for it on their computer and pop it in there. Now, many teachers are setting activities for the children in what we call to-dos. If they are set a to-do by their teacher, they will get an alert up here to say that they have been set a to-do. So if I click on there, you can see these are the to-dos that have been set, and they can go straight through to that to-do from there. Alternatively, if they click on their to-dos button there, they can also see the work that's been set for them as a to-do. Now, to-dos come in different forms. You can see down here this quiz. Now, this was set for Adam. Adam completed the activity, and because he completed the activity, it was handed in for him to the teacher. Now, that means that the teacher will see that as a score. It's not actually a file, it's a score. Adam can see how he got on, and it's changed green to show that he's finished it and he's handed it in. Now, you can see here, Goldilocks story, that's not been started yet. So that's blue, and it's got a start button ready to go. If I go up to news report, now this has been started, it's been handed in, and the teacher has fed back to them what they wanted them to do next. Okay, so you can see what the comment is in there. The fox and the hen activity, now that is like a practice activity, so the child can do it, but the button is just play again, so they can do it as many times as they want. It isn't actually handed in as such. So some things can be played over and over again. Some things create a score, and those are recorded for the teacher so they know what they actually scored. And some things can be sent back and forth between the child and the teacher. So in this case, let's say they want to try this Goldilocks story. They click on start, and they could do some work on it. Now, they're called for tea, so they click the back button, they click save and exit, and they log off Purple Mash. When they come back to it, they can click on their to-dos, and can you see I can continue it or I can hand it in. Okay, so continue will just start where they left off, and they can just continue with their work. It's very straightforward. If they think they've finished, they can click hand in to the teacher. They can leave a note for the teacher if they want to. They don't have to. They can leave that blank. They can leave a voice message for the teacher. They don't have to. They can just put one of those in if they want to as well. And then OK. Now you can see I've handed it in. It's gone green. They can open the work at this point, but they can't edit it because it's been given to the teacher. If the teacher sends it back to them with comments, as in this one, they'll be able to carry on with it. It says start, but they will carry on where they left off with it, and they can see what the teacher said. So if I click on this one, can you see they've already started it, and there's a little sort of post-it at the bottom with what the teacher has asked them now to do. You can actually see on this particular activity, the teacher's added a checklist as well. So these are the things that they need to remember to do when they're completing this activity, and they can go through it if they like and check it when they've checked. So this one's got some ideas over here, a bit of a word bin, and it's also got a checklist. If the child gets an email from the teacher, that will also be in the alert section here as well. There's also rewards at the top here as well. So if the teacher has set them a reward, they'll be able to click on the reward. You can see these are the rewards they've had already, and the new reward, they just click to reveal it. If the teacher is using what we call display boards or blogs, so some teachers are blogging work to the children, or some teachers are sharing work on a display board. If you want to see those, you just click this sharing button here, and any display boards that have been created will be here. Any blogs that have been created will be in this area, and my blogs will just be the child's individual blog. There's my news blog. So this is where you would get to display boards and blogs. If a teacher has encouraged a child to send work to a display board, let me start this one. Then when this is saved, it can be shared. And you can see they can send it to a blog if the blog has been created. If they want to share it to a display board, they just click share, and you can see there's display boards, and they can click on the relevant display board. So if it was my story, they click on there and OK, and that will send it to the display board. If you wanted to share this work with other children or parents, if you click on the link, that is a link to the piece of work, and that is the QR code for the piece of work, and you can even embed that piece of work in a web page as well. Okay, so that's a quick review of the sort of things that you might need to know about using Purple Mash. Finally though, there's a featured area on the side here, and you can see there's weekly activities which our education team are producing, so there's a whole host of those in there that you might like. And as the professional development team, we are also sending out a parent blog each day. So if you click on the parent blog there, you'll be able to see our different posts. So I've talked about quizzes and games. There's an introduction in there, and there's about sharing work as well, which I've just covered. So look out for the parent blog. We'll be adding new posts to that each day. Okay, hope you find that useful and enjoy using Purple Mash. If you haven't got details from your school about the usernames and passwords, again, if you get in touch with them, they should be able to supply that for you. Thank you very much. Enjoy and keep safe.